Tight bond wood glues, quietly keeping woodworking projects together for over 70 years.
Hi, I'm Ernie Conover, and today I'd like to share with you some of the secrets to successfully glue several boards together to form a panel. Always assemble enough boards to get a little more width than you actually need, and likewise cut them a bit longer than you actually need. We're now going to take a timber crayon and just draw a really nice big carpenter's triangle, and this will allow us to keep track of the order that we're going to assemble or glue up our panel. The first order of business is to joint the edges where we're going to glue our boards together. I've protected the bench with some newsprint that I keep in a roll on the wall for just such occasions. The most important factor is that our jointing is very straight and true, and that we have a perfect fit between these boards. For the strength of a glue joint drops by a power of 3 as the gap increases from optimal. It is a common misconception that we need to put dowels or biscuits or dominoes in between these to get a strong glue joint. That is not the case at all. Since we are gluing face grain to face grain, and that all of this wood is moving at about the same rate, it doesn't move it all along the grain, but the thickness will change and the width will change a bit with changes in moisture. Our glue joint will be stronger than the wood itself as long as we have a very good fit. You can use biscuits or dominoes or dowels to help you align very big glue ups. If we were going to glue up something the length of this bench and quite wide, well then putting a few dowel joints in here occasionally would allow us to get all of these boards to line up before the glue dries on us, and would make life a bit easier. For a panel glue up, we could use any of these products. Tight Bond Original is been around for a long time, and what I use in most of my furniture work. We could use Tight Bond 2 if we wanted the joints to be water resistant. Excellent choice, a little harder to wash out of your clothes. Tight Bond 3 is the weapon of choice where you want true waterproof joints. And another advantage of this is it has a bit of a longer open time and a bit of a brown color to it that tends to mask glue joints a little bit better. On very large panels, I always use Tight Bond 3 because it gives me a lot more working time to adjust my clamps and get everything perfect before the glue sets up. Okay, I've gotten the necessary clamps and positioned everything, and I'm ready to start gluing up. So reaching for the original, I'm just going to lay a nice bead of glue on there like that. Always make sure you get plenty of glue right at the end there. That, for some reason, often becomes starved for glue. Okay, now we'll snug our clamps like so. Now I'm going to drop the third clamp in, and I'm doing that from the opposite side because any twisting that these clamps put on the panel is equalized that way. Bring this up tight. You want it to be nice and snug and the gaps to be closed, but you don't want to over clamp it or you can drive all the glue out of the joint and starve the joint. There, having written the time that I glued up on the board itself, I know that I can now safely take the clamps off and start cleaning this panel up. Some schemes for cleaning it up are one, and using a orbital sander, and if you do that, you want to start with about 60 grit abrasive to knock all of these glue lines out of here before you go to finer. I like to use a hand plane to clean up a panel, and the right plane for the job is not a jack plane, but a smoothing plane. Most people will be good with a 4. This is a 4.5, which is a little wider, takes a little more effort to push. And the first way you want to plane is across the grain like this. And you can see how I'm quickly leveling this right out. I keep a little paraffin on the sole, makes it go a little better. Come around and get a little tear out there. A way to prevent that is just to break this edge with a heavy chamfer. Now we'll back the iron off a little, and now we'll finalize by going with the grain. There, all cleaned up and nice. I'm going to go call the gym and cancel my appointment for tonight and plane the other side. In closing, the things that make for a good panel glue up and very tight joints that you can barely see are to shoot nice straight edges between the boards with a well set up joiner or a good hand plane. Put plenty of glue in the joint and clamp it up with enough pressure to drive out the excess glue, but not too much pressure so that you starve the joint. Until next time, happy woodworking.